Hi everyone. It's 3 o'clock on a Wednesday, so it's Facebook Live time for me, Leslie Rogowski, the creative director of TheBeadSmith, and you out there in Beady Land. So, welcome. Today, I'm going to have some fun showing you Leslie Pope's super duper hoop earrings with these very cool beading hoop findings and just a smattering of beads. So how's everybody doing? Rangashri, hi, nice to see ya. Okay, so these are really fun, and you won't believe how lightweight they are either. They use 30 Super Duos. This is for a pair. 30 Super Duos, 20 size 8s, 44 size 11s, only 8 little 15s, 2 beading hoops, of course, ear wires, which will attach up here, some fire line, and you want size 11 or 12 beading needles because you have 15s. So it's usually kind of tough to get something bigger through there. So you can see that Leslie and I made a bunch in different colors. I decided, since the day I did these was kind of on the cool side, made me think that Halloween is just a few weeks away. So these are my Beetlejuice earrings with that wonderful green. They're my zombie hoop earrings. So I'm going to make another one for you today, and we're going to do it step by step. First thing you want to do is take a look at what are called the beading hoops. And you can see that and I've done another pair of earrings on these in case it sounds familiar. So you can see on the front side of the housing, there's a smooth side. Hey Janet, it wouldn't be the same without you. On the other side, you can see that the housing has one side that has like a crimp actually in it, little grooves, and the other side is smooth. The smooth side actually comes out of the housing. You can use your fingers or carefully with the pliers. You're going to hold the housing, you're going to hold the ear wire with the pliers, and you're just going to wiggle that out of the housing. There you go. So you can see it's got a little bit of a hook in it. But you want to treat this like a jump ring in that you're not going to open it this way. You're going to twist it just a little bit, because the first thing we're going to do is actually string beads right on the hoops. So we're going to string 8s, 11s, and Super Duos. I'm going to pick up an 8, and all I'm doing is using it like a wire, and I'm just going to poke that right through an 8. Then I have a Super Duo, and remember to check to make sure both holes of your 2-hole Super Duos are clear of anything. Sometimes the coating clogs up the hole, because you don't want to string halfway through your earring and then have an earring that only has one hole, and you're going to have to take it all apart, and you're going to get cranky, and we don't want to do that. So we're going to string an 8 and a Super Duo, and then 11s and Super Duos across, and then end with the 8s. So I'm going to just poke through an 11 and another Super Duo, and an 11 and another Super Duo, and you see how I'm just poking it right? They slide right onto the hoops. An 11, this is my 4th Super Duo, and we're going to string another 11 and a 5th Super Duo, and then an 8 to go on the other side. So our earring is going to be created sewing through these beads that are already there. Now we can poke the hoop back into the housing, just jiggle it a little bit, make sure it's in there, and now you're ready to go to start to stitch. This is a 2-needle project, and Leslie Pope and I are both huge fans of using 2 needles, especially when it comes to teaching a new project, because it's very balanced. So here's what we're going to do first. On one needle, see I have 2 of my 12 needles. On one needle, I'm going to string an 11, and I'm using white. And then I'm going to sew through the bottom end of, or the bottom of an end SuperDuo. I'm just going to pull it a little bit. Now I'm going to string SuperDuos in between each one and come out and string another 11. SuperDuos that fit so nice together. And we're gonna, I have new lights here, by the way, so I'm actually working standing up so I can see what I'm showing you at the same time without casting too much of a shadow. I'm trying to get used to this. All right, so there's 4 SuperDuos. Right? And don't worry if the beads will swing around on your hoop. And I'm going to pick up another 11, a white one, string it to my work. Now I'm going to go back through all the SuperDuos. I'm going to skip the white one I just picked, and I'm going to go back through the thread path to come out on the side where I started. And you can put a stopper bead on that first one if you want. But this is the crisscross where you're going back through the SuperDuos all the way through. To where the first 11 is, but don't go through the 11. You're going to be coming out the SuperDuo. Hey Suze, thanks for joining us. Okay, so now I'm going to go back through in the other direction and repeat exactly what I just did. Skip the 11, that was strong, and sew back through, so my second needle is going to come out on the opposite side. All the way through. You can see why you need to check your 2 holes, because otherwise you'd be at this point and not be able to get through. And you're going to go through the last 3 SuperDuos. One more SuperDuo. Hey Phil, how are you? My friend Phil is in Wisconsin. My cousin Susan. Janet, one day I'm going to have the best mani ever, and you won't be able to call my hands working hands. Okay, so here we go. You can see I'm not coming out of the 11s, I'm just cutting out of the SuperDuos. And while you're doing this, I should mention, you want to make sure that your thread, your beads are centered on your thread. All right. Now, if we look at the earring here, what we're going to do next is pick up an 8 and an 11 and sew through the bottom of the next SuperDuo. So I played around with 2 colors of 11s, black and white, to give it a little more of a Tim Burton look. So I'm going to pick up a black and a white 11 and go through the end of the last SuperDuo, the open hole. See how that is? Now we're going to add 1, 2, 3 SuperDuos. But Leslie Pope, and this is what designers do, has figured out that they will sit much better if before you string that next SuperDuo, you pick up a 15. So I'm going to do that. And then my next 15. And sew through the next SuperDuo. This tutorial by the way, like all the tutorials for, did I do that right? Yes. Like all the tutorials for Facebook Live are free on the beadsmith.com/I-love-beads website. You can find them there. Right? Now we're not going to pick up a 15, and we're going to string another super duo in between the two middle ones. And a super duo and a 15 to reflect mirror symmetry on the other side. Actually, I'm picking up 11s, but sorry about that. 15s fit better. All right. Now, with the other thread, you do the same thing and crisscross through. So I'm going to pick up an 8 and an 11. Whoops. Jumping all over. And I'm going to go in that last hole and all the way through all the beads that I strung on the other thread. Through the super duos, through the seed beads. And you want to come out the last super duo. And you want to make sure so that it's symmetrical. They're not coming out of those white 11s, they're coming out the ends of the super duos. All right. When this is not your project, it takes a little longer to catch on stuff to teach it. Okay. I'm going to pick up an 11, an 8, and an 11 to fill this gap here. So I'm going to pick up a white 11, a black 8, and a white 11, and go through the end. So you can see how I'm coming down this part here. So now I have two spaces. I'm going to pick up, let's pick up the 15 this time, do it right. Pick up the 15 and a super duo. And sew through the next super duo, the middle one. You can see how this crisscross works. Now I'm going to pick up a super duo and a 15 to reflect mirror symmetry. Go through the other super duo. There we go, coming out the end. Now with my other needle, I'm going to pick up the 11, 8, and 11 and go back through the thread path that I just sewed. Through the super duo and the 15, the 3 super duos in the middle. See how that's going through? Okay, and you want to go through that 15 and the super duo, but not those other seed beads. So here we are again, like this. All right, let's pick up an 11, an 8, and an 11. We're getting down to the final point. Okay, now, can you see how there's beads around that last point, the last super duo that I'm going to add? All right. We're going to pick up the super duo, go through the other super duo. Leave that there for a moment. Pick up our 11, 8, and 11 and go back through. So you're doing the same thing on the other side. Crisscrossing through, go back through where the thread's coming out, through those last 3 super duos, not the 11s. Okay. Now we're going to pick up 3 super duos. Where am I? Oh, I forgot to pick up one more. Black 8, white 11, and go through that tip. I know, Leslie Pope's probably saying, wait, you didn't do it right yet. Okay, an 8 and an 11. We want to work our way down, stepping up to that last tip. And we're going to add 3 SuperDuos. I mean 3 11s. 1, 2, 3 to the last one. And I'm going to go through that SuperDuo again to make the little tip on the end. Then with the other needle, I'm going to sew in the opposite direction through those 3 11s that I just picked up. 1, 2, 3, and back through the tip SuperDuo. So here's where we are now. What's left is to weave your thread back up the side through the 11s and the 8s, and it evens them out as a nice outline. Very clever, Ms. Pope. Okay. Going through like this. And you'll do it to the other side too. Make sure you don't skip any beads. And then you're going to weave the thread in to end it. You're going to repeat with the other side. Secure your thread ends, and voila! Now you have a pair of earrings. Well, actually, you have to make a second one. I already did that. Remember that the back of the earring shows the grooves. The front of the earring has a nice smooth housing. You can take an ear wire, front to back, hook it in. I like these little S hooks, fish hooks. Just goes right down. Pinch it closed, and voila! Super easy, super fun, super fast. You can see that Leslie's saying it looks simple now because she figured it all out, but it took 5 days to figure out where to use the 15s, where to use the 11s, where you need an 8, how to get the thread path to go clean without showing. That's why bead designers get the bead buck, the big bucks, you guys. So there you go. Super duper hooper earrings. Woohoo! Remember, you can find beading hoops and all these beads along with other quality Beadsmith bead tools and supplies from your favorite bead reseller. We love beads. Thanks for joining us. Remember, it'll be 2 or 3 weeks till the next one. Bye.